and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, March 30th, and I'm your host, Kristen McDonald. In today's top story, the Norwood Police Department is investigating an accident that took place during Monday morning's commute. The accident took place on Route 1 southbound in front of Newbury Comics. Norwood Police Chief William Brooks explains more on the crash.
Monday morning, we had a fairly serious accident on Route 1 during the rush hour. It happened right around 8 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's okay, fortunately, but the accident was really fairly serious. Apparently, two cars were going Route 1 southbound just under Pendergast Circle, and one vehicle attempted to make a lane change and pulled into the lane already occupied by another vehicle. It sent that second car first into a spin, and then the wheels must have caught and the car flipped over. One witness told us that that car flipped over 3 different times. It did land on its wheels, and it landed off the road right about in the area of the Lunchbox Deli. Our officers got to the scene very quickly. I know one of our officers cut the side airbags to get access to the driver of the car. Norwood Fire Department was right on the scene very quickly, and they extricated the person. The gentleman making the original lane change went to Norwood Hospital with non-serious injuries, but the driver of the other car was more seriously injured. He was transported by the Norwood Fire Department into Boston to the Best Israel Hospital, and as we understand it, he's going to be okay.
Thank you, Chief Brooks, for the update. That is a scary scene, and we're glad to hear that everybody's okay. On Tuesday night, the Morrill Memorial Library hosted its second annual Norwood 101 event. This is for new Norwood residents to learn more about their town. Members of various town departments, nonprofit organizations, and social groups were there to give the new residents some information.
Norwood 101 is a new resident program. It is a program that exposes anyone new to the town a chance to see the library and also the different nonprofits in the town, as well as meeting some of our town officials and department heads.
I think it's a wonderful idea because most people are familiar with the library, even if they don't come regularly. It's an easy place to get to. Most people know about it. They can easily access it on the town website, and won't have any reservation about coming here to any kind of an event. So I think it's great that the library has taken this on, and I hope that it continues.
We will be right back after this short break to find out what's going on in our local government.
Hi, I'm Courtney Rao Rogers.
And I'm Amanda Groh.
And we are from the League of Women Voters in Norwood, Mass.
We're taking some time out of Norwood 101 here at the library to remind everyone that Norwood's municipal election is Monday, April 2nd.
Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Districts 1 and 2 vote at the Oldham School. Districts 3 and 5 vote at the Recreation Department. Districts 6 and 7 vote at the Balch School.
District 4 votes at the Cleveland School. District 8 votes at the Callahan School. District 9 votes at the Prescott School. Municipal elections are extremely important. Town boards like school committees, selectmen, finance committee, as well as your neighborhood town meeting members are decided through municipal elections. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, and it's important that we know who the candidates are and how they'll work cooperatively and effectively in the elected positions that they're running for.
Voting matters, and your vote matters most of all. Get out and vote on Monday, April 2nd.
Welcome back to Norwood News. On Monday night, the Planning Board held their meeting in the Willett Room located in the Civic. On the agenda were multiple public hearings. The two main topics were regarding asphalt manufacturing zoning laws and a proposed auto storage in South Norwood. Early in the meeting, the board heard comments from residents about stopping the expansion of the current asphalt plant in Norwood. Later in the meeting, the agenda item regarding the storage of cars in South Norwood was discussed. Many people came out to speak on the topic. Resident Mike Sad gave a brief description on the topic.
So at this time, I'm going to let Mike take the floor and explain what he would like to do down there. Oh, there you are. And we will give people to talk about. And again, when we get to the public hearing, I know it'll go off in a few directions, but we want to talk about what Mike is proposing. That is what we're here to talk about, is what Mike is proposing. So Mike, the floor is yours.
Mr. Chairman, thank you, the planning board, the citizens of Norwood. This is Mike Nominsko. You want to call him?
24 Short Street, Norwood, District 6, town meeting member.
A direct abutter on Short Street and Moore Street with some of the other residents that are here today. We had the pleasure last Saturday morning at 11 o'clock to meet with Mike Clemmy from the Bach Enterprise Group, and we did look at a preliminary plan of Bernie's plans to go across the river, the parking down at the site that's in question. I'm going to submit some photos of flooding down that site if you just pass it around.
They invited us down with an intensive plan that they're going to present. They haven't presented yet, but we have ideas, and that's why we have comments on the ideas.
I mailed a few of these prints out to the neighbors and the citizens of town, the town meeting members, and it's, what's the impact of this project for South Norwood is massive. This is a mega project. When we caught wind of this maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's really just picking up steam. So I want to thank everybody that came here tonight, concerned residents of Norwood, the people that care about Norwood, and the people that live in South Norwood, especially in uptown, because these trucks are going to come per Mike Clemmy from the Block Enterprises down Sumner Street into East Walpole through Washington Street, take a right on Short Street and get onto Morse, and then cross the bridge and go down the back of all the cars on this one parcel. We only did this one parcel because we couldn't do both parcels. And this one abuts the G zone, which is all the residential lots behind St. Joseph, St. John, and St. Paul Ave. So it's a massive project that's been planned for the South Norwood area, the town of Norwood. So we had to come up with a plan to at least stop the ball from rolling quickly.
Due to time constraints at the Civic, the planning board members voted to continue the public hearing at their next meeting on April 9th.
So here's what we're gonna do. We have to be out of here. I appreciate everybody for coming. We are gonna continue this public hearing, okay? I need a motion for continuance.
So moved.
Second,
We have to have a date, so it's
2 weeks from tonight,
April 9th,
April 9th.
7:45.
We don't have anything scheduled on the 9th, so we can do that at 7:15.
Let's do this right off the bat. Do I have a second on the?
Second.
Mr. Hearn is raising his hand.
7:15 then?
Mr. Hearn?
I'm sorry, Dave. 2
The
weeks.
9th.
The 9th. 7:15. And, so,
Keep
all
adjourned.
those in favor of continuing the public hearing?
Aye.
All right, okay.
On Tuesday night, the selectmen held a joint meeting with the planning board to discuss a prospective candidate for the planning board since Paul Donahue's retirement last month. Robert Bamber was the only candidate to seek interest in the position. After unanimous vote from the joint board, he was appointed as the newest member to the planning board.
Mr. Bamber has had perfect attendance at all our meetings really for the last 6 months. And that impressed me a lot because he, just by observing all our meetings, he has an idea of actually what the planning board, what our charge is and what we do and how we go about our business. So he's not really coming in cold. He understands the dynamics, he understands what kind of projects we do. So I think that, by coming to these meetings ahead of time and really, learning and asking questions after the meeting to us will just benefit them instead of just walking in cold and not really understanding what we do. So I applaud him for doing that. I think that really showed initiative and a willingness to really want to be on the board.
Later in the meeting, Selectman Howard made a motion to rescind funds from St. Gabriel's Chapel renovation.
I would like to see if it would be possible for us to consider an additional article pertaining to the chapel, and that is this. This year, thus far, has been a very trying budget year for us. And with that said, that for us to consider the $1 million that's already on the table, which we spent $87,000 thus far on the chapel, and another $500,000-ish on it, that's $1.5 million for the second choice of renovations, that, in other words, partial renovations for this cost of money. I think it behooves us to put an additional warrant article on to see if town meeting would want to consider rescinding the monies that are going into the chapel. I think that it behooves us to allow town meeting to consider that with as tough a time. When we're talking possible overrides in our town, to spend this amount of money at this time on a building that will probably, after all this money is spent, not be able to be used. It will have to stay closed. And at best, it holds, if you could get in there, 50 people. It just doesn't make sense to me. And like I say, I think that we should have an additional article to consider rescinding the monies for this project at this time.
The motion was seconded for discussion by Selectman Maloney. After a brief discussion, the remaining members voted down the motion 4-1.
If we ever did rescind $1 million, we're essentially saying we ought to knock it down. Either we rehab it now or we forget about it. So I wouldn't be in favor of doing that. Town meeting has already decided they want that chapel done.
This town meeting had a good idea of appropriating the original amount of funds. If we continue to delay, the cost of the renovations will just continue to go up. I think that Mr. Hopcroft came to the Community Preservation Committee and made an excellent presentation and explained the whole thing to us. And it has been determined legally that the committee does have the right to designate some of its funds toward the renovations. We had that legal determination. We have a legal opinion that says that we have the right to do that. And the committee voted to help out. And I don't think it's necessary. If Mr. Howard feels that strongly about it, perhaps he could bring a motion from the floor.
I think we have an obligation as leaders of this town to update that building and make it as good as we can make it. It's an historic building. It was left here by the Day family. And if it's anybody's fault, it's the town's fault for not keeping it up over a period of years, that it's in the condition it is today. I think town meeting showed us that they have an intention to want to keep that building and keep it up. It's a beautiful building. And I think the PBCC, their intent was to at least get it to a point where they can keep it intact until such time as they can get further monies in any way, whether it be community preservation money or through town meeting. But I think it should move forward.
All in favor? Opposed? 4-1.
The Norwood School Committee met on Wednesday night with the task of meeting their budget target of $45 million. While all members of the committee administration expressed dismay about making these cuts, they acknowledged that it was a necessary part of bringing a balanced budget to town meeting in May. Chair Maya Bodenhofer started the discussion with a review of the work done by the school committee, school administration, and budget balancing committee since the initial request of $48.2 million. After working with the committees and receiving updated state funding numbers, the school committee entered Wednesday's meeting tasked with finding the final $544,000 to present their portion of the balanced budget. Dr. Thompson and the chair listed a set of options to be considered for reductions based on the superintendent's discussions with building principals and administrators. It was clearly stated that these reductions were not recommended by the principals or administrators, but could be done if necessary. Over a 2-hour period, the school committee was able to reduce the budget to $45 million. The reductions included not replacing a retiring 3rd grade teacher, reducing the Coakley librarian position to half-time, and not hiring 2 additional adjustment counselors proposed in the original budget process. It was clear the school committee was working together to try to make the best of a difficult process, and that work will continue.
To be clear, by saying we're not replacing a position, that doesn't mean that the game of shuffle doesn't continue.
No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that, circuit breaker comes in at 95% or something along that line, and we have a lot more flexibility. It doesn't mean that we don't have spend downs and do what we did in August and September with the EL teachers. It just, bottom line, shifting sands. We have to have a budget that balances for town meeting. So once we get a balanced budget, then the school committee has the authority to move money around by statute.
Which is a good point, I think, Dr. Thompson, because I think the spreadsheet that you gave to us with all of the class sizes in all of the elementary schools looks pretty good. I was pleasant. It felt good to look at that.
Right. It's not
perfect.
It's not perfect.
But we don't live in a perfect world. And if you, like you were saying, if we get that extra, then we can
Right.
We were on the radar.
Right.
Right.
And we'll jump all over it.
Right,
So,
and if I can just make a quick point, I mean, we're still waiting, we only have
Yeah.
the governor's numbers right
Right.
now. So this is, we're still waiting to see what the legislature is gonna come back with and what those numbers, and so,
exactly.
but when we have to deal with where we are now, these numbers are higher than what people in Norwood are used to.
But only in a couple of spots.
Right.
I mean, if
Right.
you look at the whole, that picture right here, I think we should be proud of what we've done here in that, you know.
It's been a lot of work and a lot of long nights and
Absolutely.
sleepless nights, but we're not quite where we want to be, moving where we want to go, but
Right.
we can hunker down for one
We're
more
getting
year.
there.
For further detail on the school department's budget, go to www.norwood.k12.ma.us and click on the School Committee tab. Just a reminder to all residents that the Norwood Town elections are Monday, April 2nd. MPA TV election night coverage will be going live at 8 p.m. on the government channel. Tune in to find out the results of the school committee race. To watch the full government meetings, tune in to the MPA TV government channel or go to npatv.org. Stay tuned after this break to see what's going on in our schools.
Norwood Challenger Sports is comprised of friends and families of individuals with special needs and disabilities who have banded together to provide recreational opportunities for youth and young adults. The organization was created in the early 1990s by a few parents seeking to create an opportunity for their children to play baseball, and it has grown over the years to also include flag football, cheering, basketball, and special events. Our coaches are mainly parent volunteers, but we welcome siblings, friends, and local high school students. We are non-competitive and strive to make our activities a fun experience. We provide skill-building activities in a supportive atmosphere, and our players enjoy the combination of physical activity, social interaction, and a sense of camaraderie. For more information, visit www.challengersports.org.
Welcome back. As always, it's a busy time of year for the school department. For more information, we're going to toss this over to our Norwood School reporter, Tim Rose.
Hi guys, thanks for joining me for another update on events and activities happening around our Norwood school community. The lead story this week involves schools and students from 3 levels. This past weekend, elementary, middle, and high school music ensembles participated in the Massachusetts Instrumental and Choral Conductors Association, or MICA for short, concert and choral festivals. These ensembles performed for evaluation, and medals are awarded as follows. A gold medal reflects a superior performance, silver for excellent, bronze for good, and a Medal of Merit reflects an average performance. Congratulations to the following ensembles and their conductors. NHS Wind Ensemble, under the direction of Stephen Conant, won the gold medal. Because of this performance, they were invited to play at Symphony Hall. The NHS Orchestra, under the direction of Stephen Conant, won the silver medal. NHS Madrigal Choir, under the direction of Jennifer Hartnett, took silver, and the NHS Women's Choir, under the direction of Jennifer Hartnett, won bronze. And for the Coakley Middle School, the CMS Honor Band, under the direction of Courtney Schick, won the silver medal. The CMS Honor Orchestra, under the direction of Tim McDonald, won bronze. And the CMS Honor Chorus, under the direction of Robert McDonough, took the silver medal. The 5th grade honor band, which is comprised of members from every elementary school, and under the direction of Henry Morrill, Ilana Lawrence, and Larry Smith, were awarded a silver medal. Congratulations to all. The students at the Little Mustangs Preschool Academy have been enjoying their Makerspace classroom. Makerspaces provide hands-on, creative ways to encourage students to design, experiment, build, and invent as they engage in science, engineering, and tinkering activities. As children are natural tinkerers, this new Makerspace has become a popular classroom space for our Little Mustangs. You might be wondering, what do you do in a Makerspace? Well, the simple answer is you get to make or build things you are curious about. The sky's the limit. The informal, playful atmosphere allows learning to unfold, fueled by the children's curiosity and creativity. The first couple of weeks, the children enjoyed building, hiding in, and stacking the boxes left over from their move from the Willett to the Savage Center. The students have also been creating things with moving parts, like gears, and engaging in problem-solving activities like designing ramps to learn about velocity. They have also designed some pretty cool buildings with Lincoln logs, practice stacking and balancing plastic egg halves on straws, and building marble mazes. The Little Mustangs are excited for this unique learning space. I think we may just have some future NHS robotics students in the making. And as a reminder, the Little Mustangs preschool is enrolling students for September. There are still some slots left in the afternoon program, which is open to 4-year-old students. Please call 781-440-5802 to get more information or to schedule a visit. The Oldham School is participating in the Morrill Memorial Library's 7th annual essay contest. The writing prompt is, if I could dive into the world of any book I would choose, and then explain why they would dive into that book. To help build excitement and spark students' interest in the contest, a team of teachers and staff members created a stunning bulletin board right outside the school's library. Thanks to all the teachers who helped to make this project happen, and be sure to take a look at that bulletin board if you visit the Oldham School. Last week at the Callahan School, all staff members were surprised with a special delivery of flowers. Parent Marcy Drummy organized this fundraiser where students purchased flowers for a staff member, and they were delivered on the first day of spring. What a great way to say goodbye to the snow and kick off the spring. The Prescott 5th grade had their annual pasta supper on Thursday, March 22nd. It was a great success with food donated from many vendors, live music also donated by Mike Miano, and an excellent wait staff comprised of our 5th grade class. This year, the class decided to donate all the tips from the evening to Kyle Lynch, who is going through treatment as he was recently diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Kyle's brother Scotty is in the 5th grade. All in all, the night was a great success, and we would like to thank our hardworking parents who organized this wonderful night. Well, that's it for school news. For more information around the district, please check the website, Facebook, and watch NPA TV. As always, thank you so much for your continued support of our school community. Now let's go to Mike Maloof with the latest sports news.
Thanks, Tim. I'm Mike Maloof, and this is your sports update. Due to the weather, most spring sports are still inside. Baseball and softball have continued to practice indoors with hopes to getting outside next week. Boys and girls lacrosse were able to scrimmage outside this week, and both teams hope to get the season started next week. Now over to the youth level, where the Norwood Nuggets regular season has come to an end and 10 teams have qualified for the playoffs. The Bantam A team traveled to Raynham to play Canton. Here's play-by-play announcer Joe Spadorsha with some highlights.
Here's Clifford with his left shot, shoots, he scores! Here's Kidd, throws it down deep to Hornihan. Shot, here's Sharkey, he scores! Max Sharkey! 24 with a nifty move, can't quite get the shot off though. Backdoor, that's a goal. Here's Connell up front to Spadorsha. Spadorsha backhand stuff there by the Canton goalie. Throwing back out front to Spadorsha, shoots. Here's Mateo with a goal. Down low, bit of a hook, no call. Good move there, and he scores! Even with the hook and the interference and the high hitting and the 2 hands to the head, Norwood still scores. That's going to do it here from Raynham Iceplex. Norwood comes out on top, 5-2 victory over the Canton Bulldogs.
All right, now we are joined on our sports TV by 2013 NHS grad and UMaine football star, Jason Matovu. Jason, how are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You just wrapped up your great career at UMaine. Can you kind of fill us in on how you did up there?
Yeah, coming to an end, looking back at it all, I mean, there were a lot of highs and lows. I mean, obviously, this season didn't really go the way we wanted it to, but overall, thankful. I went to that school and had a lot of good memories and got a lot of great people with me, relationships I'll be able to take the rest of my life. So, no regrets in that.
Awesome. Do you have any highlight games or big games that you can look back on and tell us about?
If I had to pick, I'd definitely say 2 games. The game against Rhode Island where I had a game-winning interception, like to close out the game. And then the game against William Mary the next week when I had the game-winning recovering fumble. So.
Awesome. Now, you just had a big event last week. You had a pro day, tryout. Can you kind of tell us how that went?
Yeah, it overall went good. I mean, I trained real hard. I was down in Florida training for about 3 months, so I was working real hard from like 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day, 6 days a week. So I was really grinding. It was a grind, but overall the results paid off, and I think I did a good job, and hopefully a lot of scouts take notice of that. So.
Awesome. So for us that don't really know what happened at a pro day, can you kind of tell us on some of the events that you guys do there?
Yeah, so basically it's just NFL scouts that come work you out, and you go through a series of drills that happen at the combine. So you do the 40-yard dash, vertical jump, rod, which is basically like a forward standing jump, and then bench and agility, 5, 10, 5, L drill, and then after that, coaches decide if they want to work you out, which would be a lot of football-related skills, position work.
Awesome. And can you tell us a little bit about your time at Norwood High? I know you played track. You were obviously a football star. Fill us in a little bit about your time at Norwood High.
Yeah, I mean, my time at Norwood High, I feel like Norwood really made me who I was. I mean, I didn't really get to start playing until later in my career because we had a lot of good guys ahead of me, you know, a lot of depth at Norwood High. So it really, like, at first it was kind of challenging not being able to play as much. I used to kind of just have to play my role, you know, and sit behind the older guys. But it made me who I am today. It gave me drive, made me a much harder worker, and helped me take my career further in Maine and hopefully take me to the next level. So,
And awesome. We could kind of see in the background, you have your Norwood High track shirt. Is that what it is up there?
Yeah, the Norwood up there.
Nice.
Represent.
Nice. And you bring that up there at school every year?
Yeah.
Cool.
Always got to have Norwood with me.
Awesome. Well, Jason, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
And good luck. We hope to see you on draft day. That would be great.
Definitely. Thank you.
All right. Take care. And now we're going to head back to Kristen at the desk.
Our school reporter Tim Rose took some time out of the studio last weekend to catch one of the great traditions here in Norwood, the Easter egg hunt. This is an event that is put on by the Norwood Recreation Department. For more on the event, we go to Tim Rose.
Hello everyone, I'm Tim Rose reporting here from the Norwood High School, where the Recreation Department has organized a massive Easter egg hunt to take place out here on the front field. Now young kids from all around town will be coming to hopefully collect some Easter eggs, maybe even meet the Easter Bunny, who knows. This will hopefully just be a little taste of what's to come on Easter Sunday for them, which is going to be coming up next weekend. So let's go take a look.
This year we have made set records of 7,000 Easter eggs across the front lawn of the high school. We had about 250 participants, but everyone thanks the rec staff, but we couldn't thank our participants. Without our participants coming today, we wouldn't have had such a successful event. We were very lucky to have this beautiful weather. Even though we have snow on the ground, that was a great way to hide the eggs, so that way we were able to hide them in the snow. We had some of our rec staff, primarily high schoolers, out here since 8:15 this morning hiding eggs. We were very lucky this year. We had like I said, we had great staff, great PTO. The Willet PTO helped us out hiding the eggs. We also had volunteers. We had a great energetic Easter bunny, and then our families were awesome. And I don't think this could have been done without our families.
This is our last year of Easter egg hunting in the day, and it's just crazy that we won't be doing this for like second grade. Yeah, until second grade. We got some M&Ms, we got toys, we got lightsabers, we got Twizzlers, we got bubble gum, we got a lot of things. Well, I just picked up eggs and with my nana and who's doing their bubble gum? I am. Mother's.
What type of stuff do the eggs have in them? What type of candy and stuff?
Orange and purple. Happy stuff. Happy stuff.
And that is going to wrap it up for this year's annual town-wide Easter egg hunt. The kids today had a lot of fun, and they met the Easter Bunny and also collected plenty of eggs. As you can see behind me, the field has been completely swept. I guess that's what happened when you have 250 kids out there all looking for Easter eggs. There's not a single egg out there that I can see that anyone else is going to be able to find. But hey, at least that makes cleaning up for the rec department a lot easier. Reporting for Norwood Public Access, I'm Tim Rose. Thanks for watching.
Thanks so much for watching this episode of Norwood News. I am your host, Krista McDonald. To stay up to date with MPA TV, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a great weekend.